The promise of an escalation of violence looms frighteningly in front of us. The world looks nervously towards Russia and Ukraine. In Isaiah 6, our first reading this morning, it is clear that chapter 6 is not just about the call of Isaiah, but a highlight of how Isaiah is set against his people with a message of destruction. Our text from Luke's Gospel is fascinating, not just because Jesus urges Peter to enter deep waters, but because in Ireland in recent weeks, fishermen plotted entering deep waters to confront and affront Russian military procedures that promised destruction of biodiversity. This deep water story caught our attention and filled Irish networks with chatter and quiet satisfaction. It is often said that we never find out what's possible if we don't step outside our comfort zones, whether it's reaching out to repair a broken relationship, speaking up for someone who has been wronged, or taking the first step towards changing a habit that is destructive to ourselves or others. Peter, James, and John stepped outside their comfort zones, and their trust is rewarded abundantly. Likewise, Irish fishermen steered away from clinging to the security of shore to act as messengers for peace and biodiversity. In 1959, Martin Luther King Jr. went to India to learn from Gandhi's disciples. Many years later, a taped message was discovered in which King emphasizes his intellectual debt to Gandhi's message of non-violent action. He says, if this age is to survive, it must follow the way of love and non-violence that Gandhi so nobly illustrated in his life. And Gandhi may be God's appeal to this generation that no nation can win a war. Today, we no longer have a choice between violence and non-violence. It is either non-violence or non-existence. Recently, I listened to freediver Claire Walsh say, I know that by standing on the beach and breathing deeply for a few minutes before I go into the cold ocean waters, I can prepare my body for what is to come. It can steady me and fortify me. Claire has competed in one of the most dangerous spots on the planet. She became the first woman to compete at the World Free Diving Championships in France. And her longest breath hold is for 5 minutes and 59 seconds. The miraculous catch in today's gospel is basically different from the multiplication and the wine miracles in Cana. In these two stories, the direct purpose of Jesus' miraculous provision of loaves and fishes in the wilderness and of wine at Cana is to meet the real and immediate physical needs of people lacking food or drink. As soon as the food or drink is supplied by Jesus, it is eaten or drunk. any symbolic sense rests upon the literal one of supplying food to satisfy people's physical hunger and thirst. Not so with the miraculous catch of fish. So primary is the symbolic theme of the call to ministry that the practical themes of supplying fish to be actually eaten evaporates. The disciples who have been supplied with fish that they were seeking immediately leave all things, including presumably the catch, to follow Jesus. Luke is saying to us that the big challenge is to trust that God, who is constantly urging us to pull away from the shore, knows what God is doing. Luke seeks to save us from complacency and to affirm that God's grace comes to us tailor-made to fit our situation. Being captivated by Jesus is to venture forth from our security in pursuit of peace. The Irish fishermen are willing to enter deep waters. Claire Walsh has made the art of breathing her life's work. Claire understands that breath can help across so many other areas of life, from unlocking tension to helping us to relax, to be more open in our thinking. When we're tense, we are burning oxygen. Claire Walsh understands how breathing exercises prepares us for the deep and the cold. Thomas Merton offers insight as to why. Every breath we draw is a gift of God's love. Every moment of existence is grace. Amen.